My name is Matschull. Using styles makes preparing a document for binding easier and more efficient. I'll go through the process of preparing a short document to be printed as a bound booklet with the title page and chapters. The first thing I want to do is set up my page styles. I make sure the styles icon on the right side of the sidebar is highlighted, the icon with the capital A and paintbrush. I go to the Page Styles section, the fourth icon from the left at the top of the style stack. First, I'll click on the default page style and select Modify. I'll go to the Page tab. Notice there is a place in the Margins section to set up a gutter. The gutter provides extra space on the inside of a page that allows for binding and keeps the margins looking even. For demonstration purposes, I'll set this to 1 inch. The small image at the upper right gives an idea how this affects the page layout. I'll change the page layout to mirrored. The small image now shows 2 pages. The left page has a greater right margin, and the right page has a greater left margin. This is basically what I want to achieve, but using the default page style is not the best way to get what I want. Click the Reset button to return the settings I've changed to their original default settings. I'll click Cancel to close this dialog. I'm going to create 4 custom page styles for my booklet. I'll create them in an order that's easy to understand. Then I'll go back and make some changes to make using them more efficient. I'll begin by right-clicking on Default Page Style and selecting New. In the Organizer tab, I type my title in the Name section. For right now, I'll leave Next Style set to my title. I'll change this later after setting up my other page styles. I'll go to the Page tab. Paperback books in the United States often have a width of 6 inches and a height of 9 inches. I'll use those settings. I'll set the left margin to 0.63 inches to add extra space for the binding. I'll set the right margin to 0.50 inches. I want my title to appear a little more than 1/4 of the way down the page, so I'll set the top margin to 2.5 inches. I'll set the bottom margin to 1 inch to allow for a footer for page numbers. In the Layout Settings area, I set Page Layout to only right. I check Use Page Line Spacing. Line spacing helps line up individual lines of text in different columns and on facing pages. It also lines up text on the front and rear of a page printed on both sides. With thin paper, text on opposite sides of the paper that doesn't line up can make a book look bad. I'll click OK. Now I want to set up a page style for the first page of each chapter. Regrettably, LibreOffice Writer does not provide for inheritance with page styles. I right-click in the Page Styles area and select New. In the Organizer tab, I name this style My Chapter. For now, I leave the next style set as My Chapter. I'll change this later. In the Page tab, I set the width to 6 inches and the height to 9 inches. I set the left margin to 0.63 inches. I set the right margin to 0.5 inches. I set the top margin to 2 inches. I set the bottom margin to 1 inch. Each chapter will begin on a right page, so I set the page layout to only right. I check Use Page Line Spacing. In the Footer tab, I click Footer On. I won't be using a footer on the My Chapter pages, but this setting will keep the bottom of these pages better aligned with the My Left pages that will have a footer. I click OK. I right-click in the Page Style area and select New. In the Organizer tab, I name this style My Right. For now, I leave the next style set as my right. I'll change this later. In the Page tab, I set the width to 6 inches and the height to 9 inches. I set the left margin to 0.63 inches. I set the right margin to 0.5 inches. I set the top margin to 0.75 inches. I set the bottom margin to 1 inch. I set the page layout to right only. I set Use Page Line Spacing. In the Footer tab, I check Footer On. I will be using the footer for page numbers. I click OK. I right-click in the Page Styles area and select New. In the Organizer tab, I name this style My Left. I'll set Next Style to My Right. In the Page tab, I set the width to 6 inches and the height to 9 inches. Since this is a left page, I'll set the left margin to 0.5 inches. I'll set the right margin to 0.63 inches to allow for binding. I set the top margin to 0.75 inches. I set the bottom margin to 1 inch. I set page layout to only left. I check Use Page Line Spacing. In the Footer tab, I check Footer On. I will be using the footer for page numbers. I click OK. Now I'll go back to the other page styles I made and make a small change that will speed things up when I start styling the document. I'll right-click on my title and select Modify. In the Organizer tab, for Next Style, I'll select My Chapter. The first page after the title page will be the first chapter page. I click OK. I right-click on My Chapter and select Modify. In the Organizer tab, for Next Style, I select My Left. Since the My Chapter is a right-hand page, the next page will be a left page. I click OK. I right-click on My Right and select Modify. In the Organizer tab, for Next Style, I select My Left. Right pages are followed by left pages. I click OK. When I set up My Left, I already set Next Style to My Right, so all of my page styles have been set up as I want them. I go to the start of my document. To better see what's happening, I'll go to View in the menu bar. I'll go down to Zoom and select Entire Page. In the status bar at the bottom of the page, I click on the Book View icon. If you don't see the status bar, go to View in the menu bar and make sure Status Bar is checked. Before I start styling the pages, I'm going to style the chapter headings. I highlight Thursday, September 11th. I go to the Paragraph Styles area of the sidebar. I double-click on Heading 1. I want to make some changes to the style, so I right-click on Heading 1 and select Modify. In the Alignment tab, I set the alignment to center. I go to the Indents and Spacing tab. In the Spacing area, I set above paragraph to 0 inches and below paragraph to 0.5 inches. I click OK. I go throughout the document and style my other chapter names with the Heading 1 paragraph style. I go back to the start of my document. I place the cursor on the page with the title. I go to the Page Style section in the sidebar and double-click on my title. The page is styled with the My Title page style settings. I move the cursor to the left of Thursday and go to Insert, More Breaks, Manual Break. I select Page Break. In the page style area, I select My Chapter and click OK. A blank page is inserted on the left, and the page starting with Thursday is styled with the My Chapter page style. I scroll down to the first left-hand page. I'm going to insert page numbers. While this page is technically page 4, I want the page numbering to start with the first page of text, making this page number 2. I place the cursor to the left of the first line of text on this page. Before I do anything else, I must break this paragraph that spans the first and second pages of text. I go to Insert, More Breaks, Manual Break. I select Line Break and click OK. Still, at the beginning of the first line, I go to Format Paragraph. In the dialog that appears, I go to the Text Flow tab. Under Breaks, I check Insert. I leave Type as Page and Position as before. I check with Page Style. I set this to my left. I check Page Number. I set this to 2. I click OK. The whole paragraph jumps to the second page of text. That's not good. I need to find another way to solve my problem. I click the undo icon. I take another look at the paragraph. I notice that the last line on the first page of text ends with the period and then the word I. I realized that the word I could start a new paragraph. I put the cursor before the I and hit Enter. The I moves to the next page, but the first line on the next page goes down a line. I put the cursor to the right of the I and hit Delete. I think I've found my fix. I move the cursor to the first of this line. I once more go to Format Paragraph. In the Breaks area of the Text Flow tab, I check Insert. I leave Type as Page and Position as before. I check with Page Style and select My Left. I check Page Number and select 2. That seems to have worked. I could have made these changes outside of this video to make the video go more smoothly, but I wanted to illustrate how you sometimes need to work through problems that you encounter. I click in the footer area of the second page of text. A note appears saying Footer, My Left, followed by a down arrow. I go to the Paragraph Styles area of the sidebar. I notice that Footer is highlighted. I click on the plus sign besides Footer. I double-click on Footer Left. I go to Insert Page Number. The number 2 appears. I click in the footer area of the next page. I double-click on Footer Right in the sidebar. The cursor moves to the right, indicating that Footer Right is right aligned. I go to Insert Page Number. The number 3 appears. I scroll down and notice that the next 2 pages already have the correct page numbers. Inserting a page number into each footer style continues with other pages using that footer style. I place the cursor to the left of Friday. I go to Insert More Breaks, Manual Break. I select Page Break. In the Page Style area, I select My Chapter and click OK. The page with Friday, September 12th, gets styled with the My Chapter page style. I scroll down to see that the next left page is number 8 and the right page is number 9. I scroll down to Saturday, September 13th. Place the cursor to the left of Saturday. I go to Insert More Breaks, Manual Break. I select Page Break, and in the page style area, I select My Chapter. I click OK. The page with Saturday, September 13th gets styled with the My Chapter page style. I scroll down to Sunday, September 14th. I place the cursor to the left of Sunday. I go to Insert, More Breaks, Manual Break. I select Page Break. In the page style area, I select My Chapter and click OK. Nothing appears to have happened. Sometimes, apparently inexplicable oddities occur, and you have to figure out another way of getting what you want. I click the Undo icon. Sunday, September 14, goes to the preceding page. I click the Redo icon. Sunday, September 14th, goes to the next right-hand page and is formatted with the My Chapter page style. But the intervening left page says blank page, rather than simply being blank and having a page number. I go to the end of the last line in paragraph 13 and go to Insert Page Break. That solves the problem, but I don't know why. I scroll down to Monday, September 15th. I place the cursor to the left of Monday. I go to Insert More Breaks, Manual Break. I select Page Break. In the page style area, I select My Chapter and click OK. The page with Monday, September 15th, gets styled with the My Chapter page style. I scroll down to Tuesday, September 16th. I place the cursor to the left of Tuesday. I go to Insert More Breaks, Manual Break. I select Page Break. In the page style area, I select My Chapter. I click OK. The page with Tuesday, September 16th, gets styled with the My Chapter page style. I scroll down to Wednesday, September 17th. I place the cursor to the left of Wednesday. I go to Insert More Breaks, Manual Break. I select Page Break. In the page style area, I select My Chapter and click OK. The page with Wednesday, September 17th, gets styled with the My Chapter page style. I scroll down to the end of my document. I hit Control plus Home to go to the beginning of my document. I go to Print Preview. I click on the Book Preview icon. I click on the Next Page arrow to go through the document looking for any problems. Setting up styles to format this document for a printed paperback took some time, especially since LibreOffice Writer does not provide page style inheritance. But once the styles were set up, things went pretty fast. After saving this document, you can save the styles you've created as a new template so you don't need to create them again. All you have to do is hit Control-A to select all of the text. Click Delete. Then go to File, Templates, Save as Template. In the dialog that appears, give the template a name such as My Paperback. Select the category and click Save. You now have a template to use the next time you want to style a document for publishing as a paperback. If you learned something from this video, please give it a like. Then go to the link in the description area below to visit my Writing Efficiently channel and check out the other video tutorials.